Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? Just wanted to jump on here and make a quick video on my take of what's going on in the baseball card community with maybe new investors, new collectors, jumping into the hobby, the rising prices of baseball cards, and then what I'm doing during this time. And it's just a fun time to really be in the hobby, just seeing these prices skyrocketing on some of my collection already. Um, just a little bit of a backstory for me. I jumped back in the hobby probably around 2016, 2015, 2016 is whenever I really started buying cards again. Finished college in '09, and then after that, trying to get jobs and stuff like that. You have to buy food. So uh, buying baseball cards wasn't really on the top of my list at that time. So yeah, I missed out like on the 2011, 2012, those key years that would have been great to have those types of cards. But anyway, just kind of want to dive in, show a little bit of what my plan is for the next month or two, or why this is going on, and just kind of give my 2 cents. So let's take a look at some cards.
All right, guys. Well, with all the craziness that's been going on these past couple months, along with that has been the rising sale prices of baseball cards. And I don't know if that's just new people jumping back in the hobby, are investors getting involved now, probably a little bit of both, but it's all good because, more people in the hobby and the popularity of it just keeps this thing exciting. But if you're out there and you're trying to, work with a limited budget or something like that, and I'm sure most of us are, here's some things that, you can utilize to your advantage. You don't always have to go after, a perfect condition PSA 10 and that be the only card that you need in your collection. So one thing that I've been doing is my collection has been a little bit of both investment, collecting, just a little hybrid. So, for example, I just recently purchased this Gem Mint 10 2010 Topps Heritage Buster Posey. Already pre-graded. And I bought this about 4 months ago. And whenever I make a purchase like this of somebody who I think is a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion only, I also pick up the raw version of the card too. So, which the raw version turns out to be a pretty nice example of this Topps Heritage. So with the intent of this card is more for the investment side, and this card is more for the collectible side. Because one day this card may hit a number to where I would rather have the money to, I don't know, buy more baseball cards and pass that along, but still have his actual rookie card in my hand. And this one is essentially, take it to the grave or pass it on to my son if he's into baseball cards. But the whole meaning being, as a collector, I just want a really nice example of his card. I don't need somebody to say, hey, that's a nice card, so I'm going to put a numerical value on that, and associated with that is also a price that you have to pay for that to say that. To each their own on that side, but I feel like if you're collecting's one thing, and then investing is the other, and the key component would be this is better for investing and this is better for collecting. Again, my opinion only. Some other things that I've been doing during this time too with the rising prices. The Griffey cards have been going nuts. The 89 Griffey cards, which I had a couple of those. I have the Upper Deck, and then the Topps Score Traded, and then the Bowman. So I actually recently sold the Bowman, but whenever I was taking pictures of it, I noticed on the back it actually had, above the K was a faded spot right there on the red. And I was looking at it and I was like, man, this is a PSA 10. And if I can get a picture uploaded up here from my eBay auction, I'll show it to you. And I was like, this is a PSA 10. The serial number matches up. The case hasn't been tampered with or anything like that. But I've had this card for about 4 years or so, and I paid about $65 for it. And at that time, I was very new in the hobby, so all I saw was, this. All I saw was this PSA 10, that number right there. I didn't know that meant, well, it could be a 10, but it may not be like the 10. And there still may be a flaw or two here and there on it. And if you find that, and that's, if I was buying that card today, I would have totally sent that card back for the amount of money that I was paying for it. And so, with the pandemic going on, this card was selling. I think it hit well over $300 at one point in a PSA 10. And I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and sell it because I'm not too happy with my version of it. And so, and I'm getting money. So I put it on there and I got some offers. I always leave open offers just if anybody wants to negotiate. And the highest 2 offers that I ever got after 2 weeks was, I got down to $200. And to me, I was like, you know what? It's a PSA 10. And with that mark on the back of it, that just, to me, wasn't a true PSA 10, but who am I to really say? So I was like, you know what? It's fair. This person knows exactly what they're getting. I've described it well in the auction. And, yeah, maybe taking a little bit of a loss on it. But then again, the popularity of that card, as far as having that mark but still saying a 10, that can kind of mess with people a little bit, as far as who all is going to be your future buyers for this card later on down the road. So I let it go. I sold it, and I picked up a very clean version, the cleanest one I could find, of the Bowman. Now I'll probably send this in. I'll still send this in someday and get it graded, either PSA or HGC or something like that. And if it comes back a 10, cool. Then I scored a jackpot. But the odds are it'll probably be a 9 or an 8, just because these cards are just, these era of cards are just really hard to get 10s on. But this is a really good clean example of it. And, I won this auction for $25. Now, this is still, that is a lot higher price than what this card was, maybe 6 months ago. But to me, I'd rather own this card. This card is going on into the collection essentially forever, at least until it's all done, whatever. But it went more out of the investment category and into the collection category. So another thing that I've been doing too is I've just been buying, the more elaborate rookie cards that I can get a hold of. So, like this Mookie Betts Chrome. And then over here I've got the gold rookie as well. And I just try to buy the cleanest one that I can. And if I look at it and I'm like, wow, this may get either a 9 or a 10 in grading, then I just look at, well, what are the sell prices of them? What's a 9 going for? What's a 10 going for? Is it worth my time and money to send that in? Or is it better just to keep it raw? And then me as a buyer, me as a seller, we can have that discussion on what a price should actually be. Yeah, so the whole idea is, hey, if you're getting into the hobby right now and you're just like, holy smokes, this stuff is really it's a little bit expensive, it's a little bit daunting, maybe just go after the raw versions of the cards, If you can just pick up a nice raw rookie card, these cards are just so well made nowadays that they don't really get, they still get nicked up and everything, but you may have a chance of actually buying a raw one that's still a PSA 10, maybe a 9, depending on the guy. If you have time, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I always love hearing other people's mindsets and train of thought on their styles of how to collect baseball cards and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, until the next video, have a nice day.